Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our first episode of Up Your Confidence podcast. Today, I'm excited to bring you this wonderful conversation for and by women that equip, empower, and elevate us to live our God given potential. I'm Lizette Zuno, your host for today. I did not know that our first episode for Up Your Confidence will be this kind of conversation. But here we are, and so let's meet the moment. 2 weeks ago, I spoke on YouTube via Facebook Live as well on this page clearly about how I felt about this modern day lynching of Mr. George Floyd, rest in peace, for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. I thought I was really done after that conversation, but I continued to talk to my friend. And in that video, I did a lot of call action, but one of my first call action was I call out white women and I asked them to be ally and to become activists and to be an advocate for us so we can move forward. And shortly after, I started paying attention to all my friend Facebook page, and I saw that some of you guys were really meeting the moment. You were really speaking your heart out. So I want us today to really speak up, speak out, and speak around this system of oppression, racism, covert white supremacy behavior that we live as Black people. So today I'm really excited to have this wonderful group of women. You guys are all people that I know in real life. So I'm excited to have you guys around because I truly believe that for us to move forward, you guys are in biracial family, and you live this experience in a different way. I am married to a Black woman, so I have a different perspective. And I've always say in this podcast, I'm going to share experience from people that have different experiences. So I'm going to start by introducing this wonderful panel of friends. I'm going to start, we have people from around the world. So people are watching us from around the world. So I'm going to start with Yemi Yakini. I'm start with Yemi because Yemi is the person that I know the longest. We were in elementary school back in Cotonou, Benin. So I think we know each other since we were like 5, 6, 7. So don't, not to say our age, but we know each other for more than 35 years, literally. And thanks to Facebook, we have kept in touch. And Yemi made a very touching video the next day after this whole George Floyd situation started. And I could feel her pain, I could feel her pain. So that video really touched me. And every time when I wake up, I see Yemi commenting, sending me a message. So I really want her to be on this panel today. So Yemi is married to Anthony, and he is a white man, but he's very woke white man. Let's just call it that. So thank you for having you on this panel today. Yemi live in Nice, France. So she's in Europe, and she has been involved in a march just last weekend for Black Lives Matter. Just how much she's really engaged in this fight. So next, I'm going by the order of how many years I've known people. So next is my cousin, sister in crime, my partner. You guys know that so it's Amelie Byrne. You guys know, if you don't know, I have a non-profit, C Square for the Cure, for breast cancer awareness. So Amelie is my chief operating officer. So Z Square for the Cure, I'm the heart of Z Square for the Cure, and she's the brain of it. That way, that's how I see it. So everything that we have done, from strategy to execution, has been really driven by Amelie. So she's also married to a white man, and we always have this kind of conversation. And this actually sparked last weekend when she sent me the video of Serena William and her husband talking about this same situation and the move that Serena William, her husband, made. And I just started asking her, so how do you guys have this conversation? How are you feeling? How is he feeling? So that's how the idea of the podcast came. And then I asked all of you. So thank you for being here today, Amelie. And next is Lacey. And Amelie live in Michigan, in the United States. And you guys have heard a lot about Michigan in the news lately. So we're just gonna leave it at that. So next is Lacey Kofi. I've known Lacey, I think, at least 15 to 17 years. If I live in Dallas for 20, at least 15 to 17 years. Lacey is married to Mark Kofi. He's from Ivory Coast, so we know each other through the Ivorian community here in Dallas. And Lacey, you don't know, but one of the things that I love about Lacey is not only that she's embraced our African culture to the highest level, but she make the best party ever. You know, every time you go to her house, at least when they were living in Dallas, she has the best spread. You know, the cheese board, the fruit, the vegetable. You know, every time. And I have a story that I'll tell you. Me and my husband, we came to a party to your house and we left to go to another party and we still missing the cheese and then we were like, we should have just stayed for this because this other party was not worth our time. So I love Lacey for that. And every time I see you and your family, I'm always happy. And I saw that lately, Lacey has been just dropping nugget on her Facebook page. You know, if you guys go and check out her Facebook page, she has been doing like this 30-day program where Lacey's a teacher, and she has been just dropping this knowledge of how to be anti-racial, how to learn to, you know, how to how how to just be anti-racist and how to not be afraid of Black people when you see them in the street. So she's just giving us an education also. I thought Lacey would be great on the panel as well. And Lacey is also married to a Black man. And last but not least, Chloe here. I met Chloe in my relationship with Chloe is actually very special and different because Chloe is actually one of the rare white women that I met that is not, we didn't work together. Our kid goes to the same school, but when we met, they didn't go to the same school. But we did not meet through, because I usually meet white people through my work relation. That's usually where it stopped. That's where it start and then it stopped, you know. So I never had any friend outside of work or outside of normal life. But I met Chloe through our neighborhood. You know, she lived in my neighborhood. She lived like two block from me. So, and she just posted a message and said, does somebody want to go work out with me 2 years ago? And I raised my hand. You all know that I always like to work out. Not that I look like it, but I like to work out. So Lacey, Chloe just asked, and then I joined her, and then we start working out 2 years ago, 5:30 in the morning. And I didn't even know that she was married to a Black man, because we never had that conversation. But the way she just embraced me, she was my accountability partner basically. So she will set up the gym because I'm always late to show up at the gym, and she was always ready, texting me, it's like, are you coming? And so we were really helping each other. And I think we should continue, because when I got pregnant, I went MIA. And then I had a baby, which the baby's like 13 months now. So that should no longer be an excuse, right? So that's how I met Chloe. And then a couple of months ago, I think earlier this year, I was just walking my daughter to school before the whole COVID. And then I saw that her husband was Black. So I was like, huh, okay. I was happy. I mean, I was not surprised, but I was just happy. But I've seen your daughter, I just never paid clear attention. So your daughter is so beautiful. So I'm happy that you say yes for this conversation. So here's my panel. We're gonna get started. Our first conversation, so be candid, talk about your experience. So I want to ask you guys, when you guys saw the video and things are happening, you know, how did you feel? What was your feeling from the get-go?
For me, go ahead, Yemi. Go ahead, Emily.
No, Lacey, go ahead. You can start.
For me, it's just like, even just thinking about it makes me want to cry. It's just devastating. I think as you watch, it's not so much just the officer that is murdering George Floyd, but the complacency of the other officers, even though there's other people compelling them to stop, and they just don't even, it's like they don't value the life as much as they would someone else, and it's devastating.
Yeah. Anybody else? Chloe, I see you shake your hand. Yemi, chime in. Yemi, you talking, but you on mute probably. Go ahead. Tu es mute. On t'entend pas. Yemi, on ne t'entend pas, hein. So, on t'entend pas.
Ah,
Oui, c'est bon.
Ça va.
Vas-y.
ça va? Tu
Oui.
m'entends? Ok.
Mhm.
Donc, je vais répondre en français parce que j'ai compris ta question, hein, mais je vais répondre en français pour que ça soit plus clair et que je puisse mieux m'exprimer.
Mhm.
Quand j'ai vu la vidéo, comme tout le monde, enfin comme tout le monde, parce qu'il y a des gens qui n'étaient pas choqués, donc je ne dirais pas comme tout le monde, j'ai d'abord vu un homme avant de voir la couleur. Avant de voir la couleur, j'ai vu un homme. Et c'est terrible de voir quelqu'un mourir. Quelle que soit la couleur, tu vois la personne mourir pendant son calvaire dure 8 minutes. Déjà, moi, je n'aime pas regarder les vidéos horribles, les vidéos de violence, tout ça. Mais quand j'ai vu les commentaires, avant de regarder la vidéo, j'ai su qu'il y avait un problème racial derrière.
Mhm.
Donc, j'aime regarder pour comprendre, dans ce cas, pour comprendre vraiment ce qui s'est passé. Et bizarrement, on se demande, mais qu'est-ce qu'il a pu faire?
What did he do? Mhm.
Sauf qu'après, on se dit, mais non, quel que soit ce qu'il a fait, un policier n'a pas le droit de tuer.
Exactement.
Il n'a pas de faire justice lui-même. Donc, ce que j'ai ressenti, c'est une énorme, comment dire, tristesse et une énorme colère.
Yeah, deep pain.
Ouais, j'étais complètement attristée, complètement en colère et frustrée. J'étais frustrée parce que tu te dis, si j'avais été là, qu'est-ce que j'aurais fait?
Exactement.
Et
Apparemment,
peut-être
rien, parce qu'il y avait des gens qui étaient là aussi. There were some people there, so there's nothing you could do, really.
Why? Because they can lost their life. Ils peuvent
She's
mourir
trying to
s'ils
speak French,
essayent de faire
English.
quelque chose.
Exactly. Mhm.
S'ils essayent de faire quelque chose, le flic peut les tuer, il peut penser qu'il y a une menace et puis leur tirer dessus. Donc j'aurais été là,
Exactement.
je n'aurais rien fait non plus. Mais les
Mhm.
questions se bousculent dans ta tête. Donc il y
Right.
a eu plein d'émotions qui se sont mélangées dans ma tête. Mais j'étais profondément triste de voir un homme mourir. Et après de comprendre qu'il est mort à cause de sa couleur.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead, Amelie or Chloe. What
When
was
I first saw it, first of all, it wasn't through the news. I was on WhatsApp and somebody in a group, and I was like, oh, there's a video, and I just click on the video, and I saw a male on the top who has his knee on somebody else's neck, and that person was underground.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why these people post these things in here? I'm like, is that a joke or some kind?
Mm-hmm.
And so I kept watching it, and the guy keeps saying screaming, and at one point was saying, I can't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, he's saying I can't breathe, and why is his knee is still on his neck? So I'm like, is that a fake video? What's going on? Because there wasn't any post. It was just the video out there. So I'm like, okay, is he listening? And then there's somebody was recording next to them. It was like, and the guy was pleading, like, you need to stop, man. You need to stop, man. But the guy was just there, and he has his hand in his pocket. I'm like, this is not real. And then when the guy starts saying, mom, I'm like, this is real then. And then the video cut off over there. And I'm okay. 2 minutes later, somebody posts the same video again. And then and he starts screaming his mom's name. Okay. Lizette and I tell her that I have certain, how to say that, I can see things. So when he was when I was watching the video the second time around, it's like my body was taken over there, and I was right in front of him and his face, and he was screaming. I badly wanted to help, but I couldn't do anything. And when he was screaming his mom, it's because he was able to see her, because his mom was dead.
Right.
So she came to take his pain away. So after that, I couldn't process. I froze. I couldn't think. I couldn't eat. And I'm like, this is back to back pretty much, because Aubrey case just happened not too long ago.
Right.
You were just a human being running. And the next thing, apparently, a truck run him over, and then they shoot him. And I'm like, this is really happening. So I shut myself down. I decided I'm not going to cry. I was about to cry. I said, I'm not going to cry. If I cry, I'm giving my power to the people who did who committed the crime. And I decided when I go to work, I'm not even going to talk about it, because over there they expect me to talk about things, and they are used to me talking about everything, anything. So I decided, no, I'm not going to give them that power, that if I even talk about it, they are not going to get it.
Right.
So what is the point? So I shut myself down for like at least a week. And then one day, one of my coworkers asked me, I'm surprised you are not saying anything about what's going on. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I wouldn't want to say it. What are you talking about? And she was like, Floyd, George. I'm like, oh, what about him? And she was like, you are not aware of anything? I'm like, I don't know. Go ahead. And it's where the person told me what happened. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm fully aware of it, but I just choose to not talk about it. It's no worth for me to talk about it.
Wow.
And so I didn't talk about it at that time because I wasn't ready for it. Because I was saying that, okay, I'm in an environment. I'm the only Black person there, but I don't see myself as the Black person. I've never seen it until recently. I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, well, you think of yourself as a human being, but guess what? Out in the street, you are a Black woman.
Right.
So deal with it. So I decided I had to face it. I had to confront myself first, deal with it, before I'd be able to talk about it with other people.
Right. That's good. So Chloe, what was your feeling? How did you find out, and how did you deal with it?
I think I did find out on Facebook as well, a video that was circulating. And I mean, to be honest, I saw my husband in that video. I saw and I like the statement you made about, I'm not going to cry because it doesn't give them power. And I need to tell myself that because I get so emotional.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Don't give them that power.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I saw, my students and my friends and it was heart-wrenching. And since that day I've had such a heavy heart, and now it's been a surreal, and I guess this kind of segues into another question, but it has brought to life my white privilege that, I can turn it on and off. If I don't go to the store with my husband, it's not an issue. But if I go with them, it could potentially be, and,
exactly.
And so that's been a real surreal and a reflective moment for me, and a reflection that, I have had the power and the privilege to be able to turn it off, and so it's taught me a lot of how to think through that and recognize that.
Well, when you said that when you go to the store, you feel like you can kind of turn off the racism things. It made me think about another piece of that white privilege. And when I think about like my sons going out on their own, or my husband going out on their own, they're going to experience more racism than if they're with me.
Right.
It gives them, oh, okay, you're a little bit better if you're walking around with me. You get an exception if you're with your white wife,
Right.
which is so convoluted and frustrating, but so real.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys brought that up, because that's the scary part, you know, for lack of a better word. That's the scary part. That's how so I'm interested in, you know, since you brought it up, how do you have that? So once you find out, Chloe or Lacey, right, how do you then have that conversation with your partner? Like you say, Chloe, you saw your husband. So then how does the conversation come? How is he feeling? Does he burst out in the room and tell you, oh my God? Or how do you guys have that interaction? I'm really curious about that. And how do you console him? Because I think, you know, we as a woman have to console our partner naturally. So how do you do that, you know, as being that other race?
I think the most important thing, and really the only thing we can do, is listen, you know, and just try to know that, let him know and let his family know that we're standing with him, and we understand why he feels so, you know, so bitter, and so that we've done a lot of listening, and you know, just kind of let him work through it on his own, but let him know that I'm there if he needs. But, you know, just, we rely a lot on faith as well. So that's been, and it always has been, a big part of our family, but that's definitely something that's helped us through it. But really, I've just been listening and showing him that, you know, it's that I acknowledge it, that it matters to me, and it affects our family. And that's what I've been doing, listening and learning, and empathizing.
Yeah, that's good. That's the only thing. That's the best way. Go ahead, Lacey.
Yeah, similarly, just, you know, at first, I think it was important, very important, that we listen. I think one of my first posts was that at that time, at that early stages of seeing something so traumatic, and you know, voices were being shared about this tragedy. At that time, for me, it was just that we need to stop. We don't need to comment. We don't need to say anything. We need to listen. And like Emily said, she didn't feel like talking at work. And if those of us who are white, we just want to know, and I get that. I think it's good. It's good to have this conversation. Now is a good time, Lizette, you know, good timing on the podcast, that give everyone a chance to, you know, have their say, and not kind of, you know, just dig into the, you know, lives of people of color in such a traumatic moment.
Right.
Listen to what they have to say, and be quiet for a moment before we step into it. And so I think that it's just really difficult to think, but I do think that now we've kind of gotten to that point where we can start to have the hard discussions and hear each other a little bit better. Emily, you're ready now to talk. You know, maybe other people are ready to talk about it too.
Yeah, totally. So my next thought or question that I want to bring is, how have you experienced discrimination as a white person, alone or with your husband? Have you experienced discrimination? And I think, Chloe, you start alluding to that, how you can turn on and off, you know, your white privilege. So can you share any experience that you have had, either with your husband or alone, you know? And Lacey, same question to you as well. So go ahead.
I don't recall a time where we have directly, outwardly, openly been discriminated against, but I know that people talk, you know, or it's just like, if maybe someone doesn't know that I am married to a Black man, they might say things that they wouldn't if they knew that I was, or if a Black person was in the conversation, you know, so that's been really interesting to see, you know, people reveal themselves in that way.
That must be fun. How about you, Lacey?
Yes. Yeah, same thing. People, well, people will say things in a conversation if they don't know my family dynamic. Then you have to be putting them in their place at times.
I want to be there. Like, how do you do that? Like, you just say, wait a
You know,
minute.
honestly, Lizette, sometimes you're embarrassed and you don't.
Exactly, in the moment, I'm sure.
And now, you know, you have to start to build a courage of standing up. And I'll be honest, it took some time. Because at first I think I was naive and didn't realize a lot of times that they were truly being racist. I'm thinking, no, that's not really what they meant.
Exactly.
Surely they didn't just say that to me. And so I think that's kind of, you know, you deny it for a while.
Yes.
Other times you kind of subtly, I remember a time when I was at I was a principal of an elementary school, and we were at some training with other principals, and I sat down next to someone, and they started to tell me a racist joke.
Ooh.
And at the moment, I'm probably looked like this.
Yeah, just your eyes alone, like you tried.
Seriously. So I didn't address it at the time, obviously, because probably would have been a very loud, heated conversation if I did in the middle of training. But later in the day, around lunchtime, I just started sharing photos of my family. And I kind of felt like, oh, maybe he understood at that moment that
like, let's not go back to that kind of joke
great
anymore.
Mistake. And but I will say, I posted about a particular time that was very
share that please, because that was quite interesting.
And it's a long story, but I'll try to make it short. But basically, when we first went to look for we were buying our first home, and we went to look at some homes, and at the end of the day we found this new neighborhood, and there was a model home with you know, salespeople there, but it was getting late in the day. My mom was a realtor, so my mom and I ran in while my husband and my dad stayed in the car. She made quick conversation. They exchanged cards, and we said we would come back to the next day to look at a home. Well, the next day my mom wasn't available. My parents weren't available at the time, so my husband and I went. And the salesperson didn't have time to show us a house. He said they were going to move their office, and so they couldn't do that day, but to come back in a few days. So we did. We came back, and truly he was moving. Huh? They were moving the office, but he didn't have the time again to show me. And I'm thinking, well, that's just bad customer service. Surely he wants to sell a home to us. You know, he's going to make some money. And so I couldn't, he wouldn't have the time for us. So I decided I would call back the original guy that we had met that first time with my mom. And he had not met my husband, but over the phone, he was like, oh yeah, I remember you. You came in with your mom. I said, yeah, oh good. You know, I'm thinking, yes, we can now get somewhere with this home search. And he says, you know, it says here that you're Black, but I remember you. You're not Black. And I was shocked, but I think I was, again, that naive moment, like, what does that have to do with anything? Why are you asking that question? Okay, so I just said, well, no, I'm not Black, but my husband is. Like, does that matter? You know? But I didn't think much of it at the time. And so again, we finally get an appointment to see a house with this nicer guy that had met my mom. And we decided to put an offer on a house. We go back, and the guy doesn't, he starts asking a bunch of questions. Where are we getting our loans? What are our jobs? Why, you know, all right, we just want to put an offer, man. Like, let's put the offer in and let's go home. And then he says, this computer doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, and in that moment, it finally hit me that
It's the Black
it was
family
him.
thing.
He had written somewhere
Mm-hmm.
that my husband was Black and that we were undesirables in that neighborhood, and he wanted other people to know that, other salespeople, so that they could segregate this neighborhood.
Exactly. And what year was that?
This was 2003. 2003.
Still segregating in neighborhoods. So
yes.
Yeah.
And had I not been white, that would never have been revealed to me. Had I not been white, I would not have known that this was pure, utter racism.
Yeah.
You know, I think about how, you know, if this were a Black couple, they would feel it, and they would know what it was, and they would be crying out, you know, there's something going on here. This is he must be racist, and people wouldn't believe them. But for me, it was plain and simple.
I told you.
It was revealed to me in a way that it changed my life forever.
Right.
That though I know racism exists, and we experience some, you know, being seated in the corner of a restaurant when the restaurant's empty. We experienced that before, but nothing like this. Nothing like this.
Right. Thank you for that story. Because for us, as I'm talking as a Black person, but I've been like some of you too, you know, at the beginning, I'm like, not sure. But for the past 10 years, I just awakened to it. I'm like, no, I'm not crazy. I know when I'm being treated right, and I know when I'm not being treated right. So let's just call it what it is. So, but what are you going to do about it? I just accepted that when you are not welcome somewhere, don't force yourself in, period. That's how I see it. So if from the get-go, the neighborhood is not welcoming me, I'm not going to force myself, you know, but it's actually sad. And I think that's where a lot of us Black people are. So I'm going to ask you ladies here, Law and Amelie and Yemi, how have you experienced, if you ever have, because I know some of you have different experiences, how have you experienced racism or, you know, subtle discrimination? So I will ask the question in French for Yemi. Comment as-tu expérimenté le racisme? You know, est-ce que tu as jamais expérimenté le racisme, ou bien seul ou bien avec ton mari? Et la même question pour Amélie. So, vas-y, Yemi.
Personnellement, j'ai expérimenté le racisme.
Augmente ton volume, s'il te plaît. Augmente, on n'entend plus.
Personnellement, tu m'entends mieux?
Oui, vas-y, augmente encore un peu.
C'est au maximum.
OK. Bouge comme tout à l'heure.
Je sais pas s'il a le micro aujourd'hui.
OK, c'est bon.
OK. Personnellement, j'ai expérimenté le racisme à plusieurs occasions.
Tu arrives à entendre?
OK, augmente encore un peu parce qu'on n'entend plus là. Ça se...
Vous m'entendez?
Non.
Ou bien le casque peut être mieux.
Le casque.
So, là, tu peux répondre pendant qu'elle est en train de faire le casque.
Yeah.
C'est mieux?
Non, pas toujours.
OK, bon. Qu'elle réponde, je règle ça.
Oui.
Me personally, after I talked with Lizette, after a while, I thought about it. I told her personally, I've never experienced racism. Maybe, and then she was like, maybe you did, but you just didn't realize it. Because, okay, we coming from Africa, we have a completely different experience than the African American growing up here. And also growing up I went to a mainly predominantly white school. So I'm already used to that kind of environment. And so I know where I think I don't look for it. I'm just naive. I don't even know. But I have never, at least not in front of me. I've never even seen somebody who made any bad comment or anything. So my experience is completely different. Oh, now we have Yemi twice.
Yeah, that's good. She's trying on her
Yeah.
other phone, so that's
So
good. Keep
it's
going.
so it's hard for me when I see things like that happening to process. I'm like, but because I haven't experienced it. So how can I process that I'm this color and things are happening to people who have my color? And
Right.
so I just said to myself, I need, even if it didn't happen to me, I still need to put in my head that it's happening, it's a reality, and it could happen to me or to my son who is mixed, you know.
Yes.
But
So
I
yeah,
do
so
remember.
one thing that I know about Law is she's oui, on t'entend. One thing that I know about Law is she has have a lot of white friends. She even, I mean, we're both African, right? But she, at least it's a privilege. She had the privilege of going to a mixed school, had a lot of white friends since she was a little. So I think when we were talking yesterday, you know, I told her that maybe you're just so used to white people of the covert white supremacy behavior that it no longer make you feel like, you know, they're racist around you. But that's just my thought. So thank you for letting us know how you feel. So Yemi, yes, on te voit sur deux screens, so essaie de parler et puis on verra le meilleur.
Donc, c'est pour voir si ça c'est bon. Je peux éteindre l'autre écran alors.
So, réponds, dis-nous si tu as jamais expérimenté le racisme, discrimination. Je sais que sûrement tu l'as déjà expérimenté. So, vas-y.
Oui, à plusieurs reprises. Je l'ai expérimenté dès mon arrivée. Vous m'entendez? C'est bon?
Oui, on t'entend.
Ok, je l'ai expérimenté dès mon arrivée en France parce que je suis arrivée à Orléans. Donc déjà à l'école, dès qu'on arrive à la cantine pour manger, je vois tout le groupe de filles qui s'est mis de côté et j'avais mon plateau et j'attendais où m'asseoir. Personne n'est venu à ma rencontre en tant que nouvelle pour me dire, pour me montrer un peu les habitudes. Et j'ai été m'asseoir à côté d'un groupe de filles parce que je les avais déjà vues dans la matinée. Elles se sont levées et elles ont été vers un autre groupe de filles. Donc déjà, c'était clair. Ensuite, certaines petit à petit sont venues vers moi par curiosité et j'ai eu la question que je pense que la plupart des Africains ont. Mais comment vous faites pour venir en France? Alors, à question, je vais dire bête, réponse bête.
The question is, how do you arrive in France or United States? By swimming, yeah. By swimming.
Est-ce que vous avez des avions? Est-ce que vous avez des, je sais pas quoi? Alors j'ai répondu. Voilà, j'ai répondu, j'ai surfé sur Internet et j'ai atterri ici. Voilà, ça a commencé comme ça, donc elles ont compris qu'avec moi, ça allait du tac au tac. Ensuite, à Nice, je l'ai expérimenté plusieurs fois et même mes collègues ont été témoins dans mon univers professionnel. Celui qui m'a le plus marqué, c'est le jour de mon anniversaire. J'ai été acheter un gâteau pour partager avec mes collègues au bureau. Donc, je retournais au bureau avec le gâteau. J'étais dans le bus et il y a une dame un petit peu âgée qui rentre dans le bus. Il y avait plein d'autres personnes assises de tout âge. La dame, elle vient vers moi et elle me demande de lui laisser ma place. Alors, en temps normal, Lisette, tu sais qu'en Afrique, on laisse toujours nos places aux personnes plus âgées. Mais là, j'avais mon gâteau sur les genoux. Je ne pouvais pas. Alors, je lui ai dit de demander à quelqu'un d'autre parce que moi, ce serait difficile pour moi avec mes courses et mon gâteau de tenir. Et elle me dit qu'elle avait le droit, plus que moi, de s'asseoir dans ce bus. Et elle prend mon gâteau et me le jette dans le couloir du bus.
Wow.
Ooh, don't
Alors
let my
là,
other
j'étais
side come out.
choquée. Ah ouais, j'étais choquée. Et là, le conducteur du bus, il s'est arrêté net. Et tous les gens dans le bus se sont indignés. Franchement, là, j'ai été, comment dire, agréablement surprise parce qu'il y avait toutes les races dans le bus. Il y avait des blancs, des noirs, des arabes, il y avait de tout. Et pratiquement tout le monde était choqué. Et le conducteur du bus a tenu à appeler la police.
Good.
La police est venue. Est-ce que tu sais qu'ils ont refusé de prendre ma plainte? Ils n'ont pas voulu prendre ma plainte. Alors, j'ai appelé mon conjoint qui est venu avec mon frère. Le temps qu'il arrive, j'étais toute seule avec les filles qui m'expliquaient que c'était une vieille dame, qu'elle était malade, qu'il ne fallait pas mal le prendre. Ils ont tout fait pour ne pas prendre ma plainte. Et ils sont partis sans avoir pris ma plainte. J'avais une rage parce que c'était mes débuts à Nice. Et après, tu réfléchis, tu te dis, mais qu'est-ce que j'aurais dû faire? Qu'est-ce que j'aurais dû dire? Tu te sens frustré parce que tu sais que tu viens d'être berné.
Exactement.
Et après, j'ai appris que c'est pour les statistiques. Pour les statistiques, ils essayent de prendre le moins de plaintes possible pour ne pas avoir un fort taux de statistiques de racisme. Donc déjà, tu subis une peine et quand on te refuse ta plainte, c'est une double peine.
Exactement. Yeah, double
Voilà.
pain.
Donc ça a été l'un des événements les plus marquants de racisme que j'ai subi à Nice. Mon mari est venu me rejoindre avec mon frère. Ils ont discuté avec le conducteur de bus qui leur a expliqué que j'avais tout fait, mais que les flics n'avaient pas voulu prendre ma plainte. Donc, l'histoire est passée comme ça. Et une deuxième fois, enfin, entre autres, avec une copine, on a voulu sortir un vendredi soir. Je te dirais que je suis comptable, tu le sais, et ma copine, elle est dans les assurances. Donc, on sait quand même s'habiller quand on va au bureau, mais on sait aussi s'habiller, nous sommes des femmes. Quand nous sortons, nous aimons être un peu sexy, chic et tout. Nous arrivons devant une boîte de nuit. Un groupe de filles plus mal habillées que nous rentre. Et nous, le mec, il nous dit, Nada, vous ne rentrez pas. Alors, on lui demande pourquoi. Il dit, je n'ai pas d'explication à donner, vous ne rentrez pas.
Okay.
Alors, on repart. Le lendemain, j'avais un contact à SOS Racisme. Je l'ai appelé et il m'a appris que cette boîte avait déjà pour habitude de faire de la discrimination, du contrôle au faciès. Il filtre les entrées. Donc, j'ai dit, cette fois-ci, je ne lâcherai pas l'affaire. Nous avons été jusqu'au bout et cette boîte, elle a eu une fermeture pendant plusieurs mois. Parce qu'ils y ont fait un test, ils ont envoyé un même groupe de personnes, des blancs d'abord, non, des noirs d'abord qu'ils ont refusé et après des blancs. Sauf qu'ils ne savaient pas que c'était dans le même groupe.
Voilà.
Donc, ils ont testé effectivement et la loi la justice a pu constater que la discrimination était avérée. Oui. Et on a réussi quand même à faire fermer cette boîte pendant plusieurs mois. Voilà. Et ça, franchement, je n'ai pas laissé passer. Parce que j'ai tellement laissé passer des fois et après, souvent ça m'est arrivé sur le chemin du travail et mes collègues, s'ils me suivent, ils en sont témoins. J'arrive au bureau des fois en pleurs et je me dis, mais qu'est-ce que j'aurais dû répondre? Mais qu'est-ce que j'aurais dû dire? Et puis, j'étais frustrée parce que au début, je ne savais pas comment réagir face au racisme.
Yeah.
Et petit à petit, avec le temps, j'ai pris de l'assurance et maintenant, je ne me laisse plus faire. Et surtout que j'ai un conjoint qui est formidable sur ce point et qui ne laisse rien passer et qui m'aide beaucoup dans ce combat.
Ouais, totalement. Oh, merci. Just I'll give a quick summary on what Yemi said. Yemi live in Nice. She used to go in New Orleans, and as a student, she faced racism through her classmate asking her really dumb question. Just call it what it is. Like sometimes people do, especially us coming from Africa, thinking, how did you get here? Did you fly? So you have to meet them where they are. And then as a professional also, she was telling us a story about she bought a cake and she was in the bus and there was an old lady. Normally she would let the old lady take the seat, but the old lady asked her, I have a more right than you to sit here, and slap her cake, and the cake was flying on the floor. So that was the part that was hurting. But the double hurt was the fact that when she called the police and the police came, they did not want to take her complaint for statistical reason, because they wanted to, not have in the file that there was a lot of racism incident happening in town. So very frustrating. Thank you for sharing that. I want to speed up and talk about a little, if you don't, if you have had this conversation with your kids, because I know you all have kids, right? And I want to start with you, Lacey, because you have like a boy, a young man now, right? Really growing. So how do you have this conversation with them? Because they are biracial kids, but society see them as Black men. So how do you have this conversation, and how does the conversation go? If you can share that with us.
I have an 18-year-old and a 13-year-old boy. And I think we're pretty open with them.
What age did you start talking about it? What age did you start talking about race and discrimination and what to do?
When they were younger, we didn't talk about it much. I don't think that there was I'm not sure that there was maybe we weren't as active in news stories and things like that, but because they were younger, they didn't see what we saw, so we didn't really have a mutual conversation. But now that they're older and they see the same things, and they're both on social media, and so we don't want them to see something without having the conversation with them.
Right.
So I often talk to my younger son about it, just in, like, what do you think about that? How do you feel about it? Do you, and they have strong feelings, I think. My 18-year-old, because he has a diverse group of friends, I think he thinks about how things could go wrong if they make a mistake, or if they interact with the wrong person, or I think he's fairly aware of that, and I think that it weighs heavy on him, especially when he's back in the States. But I think it's just a matter of just having that discussion. The more often we can sit at the table and just a natural conversation, the better.
Right. Thank you. How about you, Chloe or Yemi? I know Chloe, maybe we're not there yet, right? Gabriella is so.
She's 6, and we had, my husband and I had a conversation about it, like, because we already were very overprotective with everything. Like,
Right.
We don't watch things in front of her. Just we do shelter her a lot, but we do think we need to at least start just talking about it. And she actually came home from school during Black History Month, and she talked a little bit about what she was learning, and it was that Black people weren't being treated nicely by white people. I mean, and that's what she came back and said to us, and so I was really proud that she had learned that at school, that they had gone there with them,
Yes.
So that's really the only conversation we've had with her about it. And we didn't, it's kind of come up in our conversations, but we haven't specifically addressed the gut-wrenching experience or thing that we all had to witness. But yeah, we're gonna, it's probably our next phase.
Totally.
Probably our next phase. And it's, as a teacher, it's interesting to think that, like, if they were in school during this time, how it might have been addressed differently. I think since we're not in school right now, we'll see what happens when we get back, especially on top of COVID and everything. So yeah.
Right.
One thing,
go ahead.
One thing I was thinking, though, just as an educator myself.
Yes.
We don't want to silence. We don't want to silence their questions. So as a white teacher, if you don't have that relationship with other Black people, and a child wants to talk about this situation, we're tempted to say, oh, we're not going to talk about that right now.
We don't talk about that in class.
Yeah, you can talk about that at home, and I agree with that to some extent, but I also think that it's really important to at least address their questions and not
Exactly.
make it a taboo subject.
Exactly.
You don't want race to be bad, and if you continuously put it on the back burner and you don't say anything about it, sometimes they just need a simple answer. Oh, I'm sorry that you witnessed that. It's a really bad situation. I'm sorry you had to see that.
Yeah,
And
and it's
sometimes that's
wrong.
simple.
Si j'ai
Yeah.
bien, vous êtes?
Yeah, vas-y.
Si j'ai bien compris, elle exprime son, comment dire, qu'elle est gênée par cette situation, qu'elle se sent coupable, c'est ça?
Non, elle est en train de parler de comment parler aux enfants et que en tant que maîtresse, souvent les enfants peuvent venir te poser des questions et que en tant que
Oui,
maîtresse,
elle se sent gênée.
non, elle se sent vraiment gênée.
Ouais.
Genre,
toujours répondre.
elle veut qu'on réponde aux enfants, même si c'est difficile en tant que blanche.
C'est
Voilà,
difficile,
voilà, même si c'est difficile,
ouais, c'est ça.
mais on doit leur donner une réponse en fait, au lieu de les laisser comme ça. So, je sais que
Voilà.
toi,
Mais je
alors,
voulais réagir sur ça.
vas-y, vas-y.
Je voulais réagir sur ça parce que justement, c'est arrivé à ma fille.
Oh,
Quel âge a ta fille? Quel âge?
4 ans.
4 ans.
Mhm.
Elle a 4 ans et dès la rentrée, elle jouait avec des enfants et un petit garçon. Elle nous disait à chaque fois, elle nous parlait d'Elon. Et son père disait, oh, c'est moi ton amoureux, c'est moi ton amoureux. Un jour, elle rentre et on est devant le miroir. Et puis, elle me dit, je veux être, je ne suis pas belle. Voilà, j'ai dit, mais pourquoi tu dis que tu n'es pas belle? Elle me dit, parce que je ne suis pas blanche. J'ai dit, mais pourquoi tu me dis ça? Elle me dit, Elon ne veut plus de moi parce qu'il dit que les Noirs ne sont pas beaux. Alors, je suis restée choquée.
Oh gosh.
Et j'ai dit, regarde-moi, comment tu me trouves? Et elle me dit, tu es noire, donc tu n'es pas belle. Mais moi, je te trouve belle. Non, elle dit, moi, je te trouve belle. Mais selon ce que Elon lui dit, moi, je ne serai pas belle. Elle dit, mais ne t'inquiète pas, maman, ce n'est pas moi. Hein. Moi, je te trouve belle. Alors, j'étais fatiguée. Je ne savais pas comment lui parler. Donc, effectivement, je trouve que en tant qu'institutrice, c'est très important d'en parler aux enfants. Parce que moi, j'ai été à l'école et j'en ai parlé à la maîtresse. Et la maîtresse a semblé très étonnée. Et je pensais, j'espérais qu'elle allait parler aux élèves. Mais elle ne l'a pas fait. Elle ne l'a pas fait. J'ai croisé la mère du petit et j'en ai parlé à la mère du petit, mais j'ai choisi mes mots. Je lui ai simplement dit que son fils disait des trucs pas gentils à ma fille et qu'elle était trop jeune pour que j'ai à me préoccuper de ce sujet avec elle. Exactement. Je n'ai pas parlé de mots racisme, je n'ai pas parlé de mots noirs ni blancs, je n'ai sorti aucun de ces mots, mais je pense que la maman, elle a compris de quoi je parlais.
Yeah.
Ensuite, une autre fois au Burger King, pendant qu'on finissait de manger, elle est allée il y a une espèce de petit parc là où les enfants peuvent jouer, elle est rentrée pour jouer et puis un petit garçon l'a poussée, lui a dit petite guenon.
Oh, wow.
Alors, elle est venue à notre table et elle nous a dit, j'ai dit, mais qu'est-ce que tu fais? Oui, le petit ne veut pas que je joue avec. Il m'a dit petite guenon, ça veut dire quoi, maman? Et j'ai dit, non, tu n'as pas dû bien comprendre. Et avec son père, on a essayé de détourner son attention de ça. Mais comment tu peux lui expliquer un mot aussi horrible? Et suite à ça, elle nous a demandé quelle était sa couleur. Elle a dit, oui, mais toi, tu dis que tu es noir, papa dit qu'il est blanc, moi, je suis quoi? Je dis, tu es métisse. Elle dit, mais métisse, ça ne fait pas partie des couleurs. Parce que pour elle, blanc, c'est une couleur, noir, c'est une couleur, jaune, c'est une couleur, vert, c'est une couleur. Mais métisse ne fait pas partie de ce qu'on lui a appris comme couleur. Je ne sais pas si tu comprends son raisonnement.
Oui.
Voilà. Donc, elle voulait mettre une couleur sur sa peau. Et j'ai dit, bon, tu es caramel? Elle me dit, non, c'est pas trop, ça ressemble pas à du caramel, ça. Et je dis, chocolat? Elle dit, non. Et puis, elle me dit, tu sais quoi, maman, on va dire que je suis un mélange de couleurs. J'ai dit, bravo, ma fille. Tu as compris, ça m'a évité de devoir rentrer dans les détails, mais on a eu quand même à en discuter un petit peu avec elle pour qu'elle comprenne qu'elle est une entité entière. Elle a une partie de maman, une partie de papa. Et c'est ça le métissage. Et le métissage, ce n'est pas seulement un mélange des deux, c'est un mélange qui forme quelque chose d'essentiel. C'est aussi une personne, ce n'est pas seulement un petit bout de chaque, qu'elle est une personne à part entière. Parce que souvent, les métisses se sentent un peu tiraillés. Ils ne savent pas s'ils doivent donner raison au côté noir ou au côté blanc. Donc, et moi, je ne voudrais pas du tout qu'elles se sentent obligées. Même si je remarque que les métis sont souvent plus du côté noir. Dans mon entourage. Je le remarque plus. Je ne sais pas pourquoi. Est-ce qu'ils sentent déjà qu'il y a un problème?
C'est parce que la société, les classes déjà comme des noirs.
Dans les noirs.
Donc,
voilà.
du coup...
Mais en Afrique, reconnaissons aussi que quand nos métis vont en Afrique, on les appelle des blancs.
That's true, c'est vrai.
Tu vois? Donc, ils sont un peu perdus. Ils sont un peu perdus. Mais en effet, quand ils vivent en Occident et qu'ils voient tout ce qui se passe à la télé, effectivement, ils ont plus tendance à soutenir plus le côté noir que le côté blanc.
C'est vrai.
Et c'est un héritage un peu lourd à porter pour eux.
Ouais. So, je vais essayer de réussir.
Et c'est très bien que tu nous aies donné la parole sur ce sujet de couple mixte, parce que le métissage est quelque chose qui, petit à petit, peut aider à améliorer les choses.
Oh, totally. So, I'll try to resume what Yemi just said in French for all of you guys. But before, I want to say that we have 15 more minutes to go, 10 to 15 maximum. But yesterday was 53 years of the Supreme Court voting for biracial marriage. Just 53 years. So this is like fresh new, you know? So my parents are older than 53, you know, it's like a couple of years before I was born. So this is brand new. So Yemi has a 4 years old, so maybe younger than all of you guys kids. And she was telling us 2 instances where her daughter had to go through little other boys calling her names, you know, or telling her that she's not beautiful because supposedly she's mixed and she's black. So she had to deal with that. She went to school and the teacher didn't really meet at the moment. You know, the teacher didn't really know what to say. So we have 3 educators, you know, Amelie, I know you are also a teacher and you are a black teacher and you have kids that are, you know, all kind of races. So yeah, both races. So how do you have that conversation with your son and even with your student? If you want to share that, then we get to our last question.
With my son, we try as much as possible to not talk about race. So we call him he's pretty brown. And we say if you want to talk about somebody, don't mention that person by the skin tone.
Okay.
So one day, by mistakes, Mom was talking, Mom said, this white guy. And he was like, Mom, could you say describe him differently than in skin tone? I said, oh, okay. He got it. We don't talk about people based on the color of their skin. So when all these stuff have been going on around, I've never talked to him about anything because I'm like, if I don't put it in his head, he would probably not look for it, you know. But then I noticed that my husband talks to him about everything. And so I'm like, oh, he's just hearing one side. Maybe I need to jump in. To be honest with you, it's when Lizette asked me the question, I'm like, oh, I've never had that conversation with him. And here he's considered black. For us, he's not black, he's mixed. You know, so I was like, okay, I got to talk to this boy so he can have both sides of the story, you know. And so he was eating, and then I was like, do you know what's going on lately? There's a man who's been killed because of his skin tone. He said, oh, are you talking about Black Lives Matter? I'm like, okay. Yes. How do you know about that? How do you hear about that? He was like, when I play games with Daddy, so they put it out there, Black Lives Matter. I was like, okay. Do you know the meaning
even
of
in
that?
the game. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, do you know the meaning of that? He was like, my dad and I never really had to about that. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
So I had to have a conversation with both of them. And I was like, what do you mean? Don't you think that our lives, my lives matter? Don't you think? And it was like, but isn't that means that all the races life doesn't matter? Like Asian people, white people. So for him, he was more concerned by the fact that it's limited to just
Mm.
one race, black people. And I was like, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do? And he was like, Mommy, don't you think that, do you think that, do they mean by black people lives matter too? I said, there we go, you got it. Yes, it's what it meant. It's true, they left out the two, but it's what it really means.
Okay.
It was like, oh, I feel much better now.
Mm.
So for him, it's the idea lives matters. He thought that we are not thinking about his dad's side
Mm.
or other races. And so I'm like, oh, this kid is so smart. So he want everybody to be a part of the conversation. And so by me telling him, it just means we do count. It just because people we've been oppressed all this year, and now we are bringing attention to us. But it doesn't
Right.
mean that we are excluding other people. It's because we've been excluded.
En
It's
fait,
not.
ce que tu veux dire, parce que bon, je comprends pas tout,
Oui,
donc je veux savoir si j'ai bien compris. En fait, c'est de comprendre que Black Lives Matter, ça veut pas dire que seule la vie des Noirs compte. Ça veut dire
Oui.
que notre vie compte aussi.
moi aussi.
Mhm.
Voilà. Et qu'elle est en danger. C'est pour ça
Oui.
qu'actuellement, il faut, voilà, c'est mettre l'accent dessus.
Oui.
Ça veut pas dire que la vie des Blancs ne compte pas.
Oui,
Exactement.
Ça veut dire que la vie de tout le monde compte,
comme
mais que la loi
spécialement.
n'est pas respectée. Donc, elle compte aussi. Et elle
Yes.
doit être protégée.
Yes. Et donc
Exactement.
après, je lui ai dit, et c'est là que je lui ai dit, and I told him, in America, for us, you are a kid. You are a part of me and a part of your dad. So it doesn't matter. For us, we don't talk in terms of color. But in America, you are considered black. And he was like, but I'm not black. I'm like, I'm sorry to tell you this. In the street, when you go out in the street, it's what you are considered. It
Right.
doesn't mean that for us, it doesn't change anything for us. But I just need you to acknowledge that fact. So when one day somebody made a comment, you are not shocked. It was like, so
Right.
Mary, you mean so I don't start beating me up? I'm like, I'm like, exactly. So you know already in your head that out there, some other people are thinking of you differently.
Exactly.
It's not okay, but it's a fact.
C'est malheureux. Hein?
Yeah.
Right.
And so he said he got it.
Cool. Thank you so
This
much.
whole thing led us to talk about
this.
what I never.
T'imagines quand même ce qu'il faut. T'imagines quand même ce qu'il faut expliquer aux gamins. T'imagines ce qu'ils doivent quand même intégrer.
Explique. Yeah. Et ce que je voulais dire, c'est que les enfants sont très, très intelligents. C'est très
Ouais.
intelligent. À partir de 5 ans, même plus jeunes, kids
Oh
are very,
no!
very
I
smart.
teach the 3 and 4 years old. Man, those kids are smart. When people say, "Oh, they don't get it," I'm like, "No, I've been here. I've been teaching for 5 years now. I know they get it. So don't push them aside. Say no, they are little. No, we need." But I haven't had the conversation with them though, with this thing going on, because since Corona, we didn't really. In the summer, we don't really do. Okay, I'm in a Christian environment. And,
In a Christian
oh
school.
boy. Yes, in Christian school.
We
I don't know
toward
there.
the end. We toward the end.
Yes, yeah. So
That will be another episode.
I try my
conversation.
best to integrate everything. So in the summer I do day camp. It's 5 and 12.
Mhm.
And so last year I did a different culture kind of. So I did a passport for them. We are going to Africa. They had an African passport. They had the stamp. We went to different countries. And this year, the theme is the melting pot. America, the melting pot. So in a way, it's my way to open the mind to
Different
what
culture.
America, what America is really.
All right.
Little by little, but without being political. Some days I even go with my afro because I want them to see different. We are all different with different kind of texture hair. They look at me like I'm crazy. Some of them even make comment like I'm crazy. I just laugh it off. And I have my coworker. She correct them. She said, "No, you meant to say she's beautiful with your hair." See, yeah. We don't have time for it.
All right, so that's good. Right. One other thing that my daughter asked me randomly was because she watched the news with me. She's 8 years old, so she understands what's going on. She asked me just randomly, and I've been thinking about it. She's like, "Is there any test that we can do to determine if the police person is racist? You know, before they even get the job?" And I was like,
"You don't know."
I don't know if there's any test because it does not show. So I want to end on that note, and I want to ask you guys one last question because I've kept you for more than an hour, and I'm so thankful for all of you. What do you think, each of you, what do we have to do to move forward? You know, I think we've touched on it, but if you can come back and sum it up in one quick sentence, like, what do you think you have to do? Because I think what's going to move the needle for all of us is to have this kind of conversation. It's really meet the moment. Try to be, for me, I feel like we have to be uncomfortable. We have to talk about things that we have not spoken about, because I want to give white people the benefit of the doubt sometimes and say, maybe they don't know that we feel this way, you know, for those of them that can help us. So let's start with Lacey. You know, what is the one thing that we can do to move forward? You know, we can't change the world, but we can change our community.
Oh, I don't think I can come up with one thing. But
I know you're a PhD teacher, so you probably have like a list of things, but give us one good nugget that we can take away, or one thing that you can do. I think you're already doing it, but you know, if you can share something for us, that would be great.
I think the most important thing right now is to be persistent. We lose attention very quickly, and we lose the attention of America very quickly.
Exactly.
I think it was not just George Floyd. I think it was just like you said, the Aubrey situation, the George Floyd. I think it was a culmination of things that brought us to this point.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, as tragic as those situations are, we've seen it time and time again. If we aren't persistent with this conversation, it will again float of, you know, just flow away, and we won't continue the conversations,
right? And
we won't make the change that's needed. And to make the change that's needed, there's so many things that have to be done to get to a point of equality. Right. But that's going to take years, if not generations. And so we need to continue the conversation and keep it in the forefront in order to make any kind of significant change.
True. Thank you. How about you, Yemi? Dis-nous une chose que tu vas faire, que tu as déjà commencé à faire. Qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire pour commencer à changer les mentalités?
Une chose, je peux pas te dire une seule chose parce que j'en ai plein.
C'est la même chose que Lacey.
Ce que je voudrais faire ou ce que j'ai déjà commencé à faire?
Oui, either one.
Ce que je voudrais, enfin, ce qu'il faudrait faire, il y a beaucoup de choses à faire. Déjà à l'école, il faut apprendre aux enfants, il faut leur réapprendre l'histoire. L'histoire, mais de façon objective, pas seulement à la gloire du héros. Parce qu'un enfant à qui on raconte l'histoire de l'esclavage, comme quoi les Blancs ont dû faire l'esclavage parce que les Noirs avaient besoin d'être disciplinés, etc., l'enfant va prendre ça pour un acte positif. Donc, l'enfant aura déjà, depuis le bas âge, ce sentiment de supériorité.
Exactement.
Alors que si on reconnaît qu'on a mal fait, et par là, je ne dis pas que les Blancs doivent s'excuser, il est hors de question, parce que j'entends le débat à la télé actuellement, pourquoi les Blancs doivent s'excuser. Personne ne demande aux Blancs de s'excuser. On demande...
Personne ne
demande aux Blancs de s'excuser. Oui, parce qu'ils ne sont pas héritiers des erreurs de leurs ancêtres.
Exactement.
Mais par contre, ils ont un devoir de ne pas le reproduire.
Exactement.
Donc, pour ne pas le reproduire, il faut qu'ils enseignent à leurs enfants que l'esclavage n'a pas été un acte positif. Le fait de soumettre quelqu'un d'autre en servitude n'est pas un acte positif.
Yeah, clap
Parce
for
que-
that.
Parce que pas plus tard qu'aujourd'hui, j'ai vu une vidéo d'un ancien colon, parce que l'esclavage est bien différent de la colonisation. Là, c'est un ancien colon en Belgique qui a été invité dans une classe pour expliquer aux élèves qu'ils étaient obligés d'aller un peu comme de la paternalisation, d'aller apprendre aux Africains comment vivre, comment être mieux éduqués, etc. Et dans toute cette classe, il n'y avait qu'une seule fille noire.
La pauvre.
Tu voyais sur la vidéo, elle tremblait. Parce que le mec, à chaque fois qu'il disait noir, il lui disait « excuse-moi ». Mais pourquoi s'excuser? Noir, c'est un mot. Moi, j'accepte qu'on m'appelle noir, je suis noir. Donc déjà, il faut apprendre aux enfants à l'école que dire noir, ce n'est pas une insulte. Moi, je refuse le terme de couleur parce que le blanc, c'est une couleur. Le jaune, c'est une couleur. Le noir, c'est une couleur. Et même si je veux aller loin, je dirais que le noir ne change pas de couleur. Le blanc change de couleur. Quand il est malade, il est bleu. Quand il se blesse, il est rouge. Quand il meurt, il devient gris. Le noir, lui, il reste noir du début jusqu'à la fin. Donc, je pourrais aller loin. Je pourrais aller loin en disant ça. Mais je vais rester soft et dire que toutes les races sont des couleurs. Il n'y a pas que nous. Donc, mes amis, n'ayez pas honte de m'appeler noir et dites à vos enfants de ne pas avoir honte de dire noir. Il vaut mieux dire noir que homme de couleur.
Ouais, c'est vrai.
Donc déjà, enseignez ça dans les écoles, remettre l'histoire. Ensuite, nous, les Africains, nous avons un devoir d'enseigner l'histoire de nos ancêtres à nos enfants pour qu'ils sachent qu'on a eu des reines de Saba, pour qu'ils sachent qu'on a eu des Béanzans, pour qu'ils sachent qu'on a eu des Kunta Kinte, qu'on a eu des gens qui ont été héroïques, qui se sont battus, qui ne nous voient pas seulement en tant que victimes.
Demandeur.
Voilà. Qui ne nous voient pas seulement en tant que sportifs. Je n'ai pas envie de m'identifier seulement à Michael Jordan. Je n'ai pas envie de m'identifier seulement à Maître Gims.
Exactement.
Je veux m'identifier à plein d'autres choses. Il n'y a pas que le sport ou la musique où on excelle.
Exactement.
L'une des reines les plus riches du monde a été une reine africaine. Ça, personne ou peu de gens le savent. Donc, il faut que nous-mêmes, nous mettions en valeur notre culture pour apprendre à nos enfants à être fiers de ce qu'ils sont.
Exactement.
Et arrêter de baisser la tête. Déjà.
Thank you.
Voilà.
Thank you.
Et ensuite, au niveau de la police, il faut les former. Il faut mieux les former. Ce n'est pas toute la police qui est raciste. Je ne comprends pas pourquoi les gens, ils affichent des choses en disant toute la police n'est pas raciste. Tous les blancs ne sont pas... Personne ne dit que tous les blancs sont racistes. Personne ne dit que tous les policiers sont racistes. On dit qu'il y a une partie qui gangrène le reste.
Exactement.
Et ils ont le pouvoir.
How do we say that word in English, Lacey? Gangrène? I need that word. How do we say the word gangrène in English?
Gangrène. Oh, gangrène, c'est gangrène aussi, non?
No.
Like cancer.
Yeah, they cancerize the police. That's the word.
And Stockley Carmichael a dit une chose. Il a dit qu'une personne ne m'aime pas en fonction de ma couleur. Ça ne me pose pas de problème. C'est un sentiment négatif qu'il a, lui. Moi, ça ne me touche pas si tu ne m'aimes pas.
Exactement.
À la limite, si tu ne me dis pas bonjour, bon, c'est un peu, tu vois, on est un peu vexé parce qu'on ne dit pas bonjour. Mais qu'une personne ait le droit et l'autorité de me discriminer, de porter atteinte à mon physique ou à mon mental du fait de ma couleur, là, ça commence à devenir un problème. Mon problème et le problème de tout le monde. Pourquoi? Je vais compléter la citation de Carmichael en disant pourquoi ça concerne tout le monde. Parce qu'aujourd'hui, les Noirs sont atteints. Par le passé, les Noirs ont été atteints. Depuis 400 ans, les Juifs ont eu leur part aussi. Il y a beaucoup de peuples qui ont souffert. Mais aujourd'hui, ceux qui sont spectateurs et qui pensent que ça ne les concerne pas, ils ne savent pas si dans 1 ou 2 générations, ils auront des enfants, petits-enfants métis ou noirs. Un blanc, dans 3 générations, sa descendance peut être noire comme le charbon.
Right.
Voilà. Donc, je suis désolée, on est tous concernés. Parce que si on ne lutte pas aujourd'hui, on laisse le bébé à nos enfants qui vont devoir lutter demain. Et ils vont faire face à des gens encore pires parce que quand tu vois qu'il y a une police dans un groupe, il y a 8000 de policiers dans le groupe et qu'il y a une minorité qui dit des propos racistes, qu'il faut éradiquer les homosexuels, il faut éradiquer les Noirs, les Juifs, les Arabes, les laisser s'entretuer entre eux. Quand tu entends ça, tu te dis, mais purée, ces gens, ils ont quand même autorité de m'arrêter en pleine nuit. Qui va me défendre? Comment je peux savoir que je suis tombée sur un policier raciste? Donc, il faut déjà qu'ils enseignent aux flics que ce n'est pas parce que leur collègue est raciste qu'ils doivent se taire. Et pour cela, il faut que le gouvernement arrête avec l'impunité. Parce que celui qui a dénoncé un flic raciste, c'est lui qui a été démis de ses fonctions.
Ouais.
C'est lui qui a été sanctionné. Parce que c'est comme dans l'armée, c'est la loi de l'omerta. On reste soudés dans le négatif.
Soudés, exactement.
Voilà. Donc, il faut repenser la politique de la police. Et dernière chose, il faut parler à nos jeunes. Mes sœurs, tu crois que ça me fait plaisir d'entendre mes grandes sœurs conseiller à leurs jeunes adolescents, parce que mes grandes sœurs, elles ont des enfants de 15 à 18 ans, des garçons. Leur dire que s'ils se font arrêter, de ne surtout pas protester, de ne pas bouger, d'obéir.
Ouais.
Donc, nos jeunes, on doit leur dire aussi de faire attention à eux, de ne pas vouloir jouer devant leurs amis les durs ou quoi que ce soit. Parce que quand tu lis dans les commentaires que George Floyd, c'est un délinquant, il n'aurait pas dû faire un chèque, un faux chèque, tu te dis donc, comment il s'appelle, Tamir Rice, il n'aurait pas dû jouer avec un faux pistolet à eau dans un parc. S'il n'avait pas fait, un flic zélé ne lui aurait pas tiré dessus. Tu vas dire à qui? À Philandro Castile, qui avait un phare cassé pour un simple contrôle, qui n'aurait pas dû dire au policier qu'il avait une arme dans sa voiture. S'il ne lui avait pas dit, le policier n'aurait pas eu peur, ne lui aurait pas tiré dessus. Donc, il faut aller dire à Breonna Taylor qu'elle n'aurait pas dû être chez elle cette nuit-là, dans son lit en train de dormir, sinon un flic ne se serait pas trompé de maison et ne lui aurait pas tiré 22 balles, dont 8 qui l'ont tué.
Exactement.
Donc, je ne supporte pas que les gens disent qu'il a mérité sa mort parce qu'il était un délinquant. Est-ce que parce qu'on est un délinquant, on a le droit de
mourir? Exactement.
Bon, la police est là pour arrêter et pour amener devant la justice. Son travail s'arrête là. La personne résiste, vous êtes quand même entraîné à maîtriser la personne. Des fois, les gars sont déjà menottés et pourtant, ils continuent.
Exactement.
Donc, c'est qu'il y a un problème. Et ça, c'est aux États-Unis. Je ne comparerai jamais la police française à la police américaine parce que ce n'est pas du tout la même chose. Mais ça commence à arriver en France. Quand on voit les cas d'Adama Traoré, on voit même s'il est un délinquant, même s'il a fait des délits, il n'a pas le droit.
Moi, je dis, quel que soit ce que la personne fait, il faut lui donner le bénéfice du doute, mais la valeur humaine, en fait, la valeur humaine, l'humanité, il faut voir l'humanité de la personne d'abord. En tout cas, merci, Yemi. Merci.
Donc, voilà.
OK, go ahead, fini.
Donc, je finis sur ça. Donc, je voudrais dire aux gens sur Facebook qui mettent tout et n'importe quoi, nous ne faisons pas d'amalgame. Certains en font peut-être, il y a des noirs radicaux, je ne dis pas non, ça existe, ils en font peut-être. Mais la majorité, non, nous avons mal. Ne rajoutez pas un mal à notre mal. Je n'ai pas vu beaucoup d'amis à moi mettre quoi que ce soit sur Facebook pour ça. Par contre, j'en vois beaucoup qui mettent des choses sur les animaux maltraités et tout, et je me dis, avec tout l'amour que j'ai pour mes amis blancs, que donc la vie d'un noir ne compte pas assez à leurs yeux, autant qu'un animal qui a été maltraité.
Exactement.
Certains m'ont écrit une box et je sais qu'ils ont été touchés. Certains ont commenté des publications à moi où ont mis un émoticône de tristesse. Je sais qu'ils ne sont pas racistes, mais je sais que la plupart ont honte de mettre un message sur leur mur par rapport à leur famille.
Yes.
Ils n'ont pas envie que leur famille voie qu'ils soutiennent cette cause, alors que c'est ce que vous devez faire pour que s'il y a au moins un seul raciste dans vos amis, qu'il sache que vous êtes blanc et que vous n'êtes pas d'accord avec lui. C'est ce que vous devez faire.
Merci.
Parce que nous nous sentons délaissés par vous. Et j'ai été contente de voir des bras de blancs à la manifestation. Je suis passée, malgré le Covid, avec mon masque, au milieu de la foule pour prendre les panneaux et j'ai pris soin de prendre les bras pour que les racistes sachent qu'il y a des blancs qui ne sont pas comme eux et qui luttent avec nous, à nos côtés. Voilà.
Yeah, totally. Merci, merci. I mean, what I say is to eradicate racism, we have to collectively change, and we can no longer make people comfortable. So Chloe and Law, we are very short on time, so please make your remark very I apologize. We don't want to keep people forever. So go ahead and give your call to action, or things that you will do, you know, or things that you're gonna ask your friend to do. So go ahead.
I personally think as a parents, we have a lot to do. We need to educate the children. We definitely need to do that. Whites need to educate their white kids. Black need to educate their black kids, because it goes both ways somehow. Because if a parent is reluctant to letting their child play with somebody from a different race, well, you are part of the problem. So we need to, this is the opportunity. The moment is being given to us to embrace our diversity and teach one another what each culture or each race is about. Because after all, we are losing if you ignore the other race.
Right.
It's like you are losing a big part of humanity, you know?
Totally.
So it's all start from home by educating your kids.
Awesome. Thank you.
Lisette, excuse-moi, j'ai oublié une chose importante. Il faut aussi que nous essayions de nous élever économiquement et que nous essayions d'accéder à des postes stratégiques pour avoir plus d'impact sur les décisions.
That's another show. Another show. Voilà. Yes, yes.
Pouvoir économique et social.
C'est la seule manière, si je veux résumer ça en un mot. So voilà. She's talking about we need to have an economical power. That's how we're going to get respect. Go ahead, Chloe. Last but not least, give us your call to action.
Well, you guys did such a great job, literally embodied everything that I think. But for me personally, as a parent, but as a teacher, to not only expose and educate, but to embrace and teach and model to my students what it looks like to, you know, really embrace another person's culture and show them that, you know, there's so much good in this world, and that they're winning by learning and growing with others. And, you know, hopefully it's a ripple effect. You know, I'm only one teacher, one school in one city, but it starts at home, but it also, you know, as teachers, we have a responsibility to educate our students and not just talk about it from books, but to prove it, to live it, you know, and I'm very proud that I have the opportunity to do that.
Yes. Oh, I cannot end on a better note. So I'm not even going to try to say anything else, because I love how educator you guys understand and embrace already the moment. So I thank you all so much for this opportunity to share your heart with us, with our audience for our first episode. I will thank all of you again, you know, for speaking out, for being an activist. You know, some of you guys are no longer allied. You are ahead of the pack, you know, Chloe, Yemi, Amele, and thank you so much for being part of this episode with us. I really appreciate it. And again, stay tuned for our second episode. Our second episode is going to be exciting. It's going to be a continuation of this conversation, but it's going to be focusing on the workplace environment, psychological safety. Because most of us, people of color, Black men and women, we don't feel safe. Not only we don't feel safe in the street, but we don't feel safe in the corporate America. And I'm gonna talk to one of my friends that does that kind of work. So that's our second episode. It's gonna be exactly 1 month from now. So thank you so much. I appreciate all of you guys. Have a beautiful weekend. And thank you. We're gonna stop there. Thank you.
Merci à toi.
Bye.
Merci.
Bye, everyone.
Merci
It was great.
Bye.
Merci beaucoup.
Bye.
Merci beaucoup.
Nice meeting you all.
Bye.
Merci.
Lacey, Amélie.
Bye-bye.
And Chloe.
Merci.
Bye bye.